Hi. I'll go ahead and make you co-host now.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I figure out why my volume is not going up. So I hear you, but it's very light. So get my sound dealt with here. And testing, testing. All right,
I can hear you fine.
it to the screen in front of me. So, all right. And video looks good. Volume is good.
Yeah, everything sounds good. So are you going to have a PowerPoint up or
Yeah, in fact, let's go ahead and test that. You see that?
perfect? Yeah.
Okay, and then test my. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, and see if I can figure out how to get rid of this bar up here. Hide. I don't want to screw around with that. Let's see here. No, that didn't work. Let me try this again. See my screen?
Perfect. I can see your entire screen. Yeah.
PowerPoint works good. Boom, 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 boom.
Looks good.
Okay. Got that going. Sharing. All right, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So let me ask you a question. Should I go with this background or should I go with no background?
I like your background.
This one?
Either one looks good to me. Either one looks good to me. I do like the digital, but if your PowerPoint is similar, then, either one works to me, I think, so.
Well, I'm going to choose the LeTip background. Boom, there we go. You're going to, okay. Oh, you already started recording. Okay.
Yeah, I can edit this portion out when we do post on our website.
Okay. All right, so I invited a bunch of guests too, so if that's okay.
Of course, yeah. I actually had someone from LeTip of Patchogue, Long Island, and they requested if they can forward the link on to other members in their group, even though they didn't register, and I told her that was totally fine, so.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went ahead and sent the reminder out. The waiting room is enabled, so do you want me to just start entry, or do you want to build a couple before we let them in?
Yeah, I would let them in and let them network.
Okay.
I'm going
Perfect.
to mute myself, and I got to get a couple of things before I get started and stuff like that. So I'll be right back.
Okay, sounds good. Okay.
All right. Good morning, Haley. You go ahead. Oh, there you are. How you doing?
I was on mute.
How are you?
Doing well.
Fantastic. So now, where are you from?
I'm in Long Island.
Okay.
Patchogue.
How's the weather back there?
Today is very humid.
Yeah, gets that way on the East Coast, for sure. So, what category do you have in LeTip?
You mean like the group? I'm the
Well, the
banker.
category in the group.
Yeah, I'm the banker.
Okay, fantastic. It's been a good day. Has that been a good category for you?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
There's several bankers in the group, so we kind of specialize in certain areas.
Got it.
I do like the home equity line. Someone else.
Fantastic. Then we got Tony here. Hi, Tony.
Hi,
And
good,
John
good afternoon. I'm president with the LeTip of Greater San Diego.
Oh, nice. I need to go down to San Diego. I go down there at least 2 or 3 times a year.
Well, thank you so much for having this meeting. I'm looking forward to learning a lot of things from you.
That'd be fun. So, what category down in San Diego?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear it all.
What category do you have in San Diego?
My category is I'm the owner of Preferred Care at Home in San Diego, and we provide in-home senior care, non-medical in-home senior care.
Nice. Fantastic. How long have you been in LeTip for?
I think I joined in 2013.
Fantastic. Hello, Brett. How are you? Scott Jones is here.
Now I get to see Scott face to face. Hi, Scott. How are you?
Yeah, nice to see you guys. For the ones who haven't never met me, I work for LeTip Corporate, behind the scenes mostly. But yeah, nice to meet some of you here today and listen in. Pick up some points I can share as well from John.
Well, here I mean, you talk, it's perfect, but I heard backfeed audio when members talk. Not sure if you can lower the speaker volume. Okay. All right. So you're hearing, you know, that's good to let me know.
Hey, Katie. She's my VP. Hi, Katie.
Hi, Tony.
How about now, Janice? How's that sound? Hold on.
Yeah, you sounded great. Let's see if I can hear myself after I stop.
All right, how about now?
Sounds perfect. Looks like it's fixed now, so thank you.
You bet. Get started in 1 minute. We can get started on time. What I'd recommend everybody do, since we're all on LeTip together, is I'm going to post an example. Is I would put your business card in here. Kind of similar like that is what's your name, area you're coming in from, website, LinkedIn profile, what it is that you do. And I am with LeTip of Country Club. It would be good for everybody to be able to network one another. And time-wise, okay. Do you want to get, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. And minimize that. And Janice, you got that. Share my screen. Okay. All right. Chat. Okay, I'm gonna put 1 second. We're gonna get started here. Just 1 quick second here. All right. Okay, well, welcome everyone to the webinar today. This is, let me go back 1 slide here. John Pyron here. I am the past president of LeTip of Country Club, and this is one of the most exciting webinars that I do. I've given this talk, I don't know, probably 200-300 times over the past 6 or 7 years. This is one of my most highly requested talks. I give about 45 talks per year. And this is one of my favorites, especially in the economy that we're in right now. The strategies and the tips that I've been able to learn from my own mentor and implement in my own business over the last 90 days has more than doubled my business, and a lot of my clients have doubled their business. And I'm excited because this is perfect for LeTip, especially with the access that we have with LeTip Wired and the big network and the family that we have in LeTip. I'm just super excited to share these ideas with you guys today. And so before I get started, I want to kind of tell a quick story. Is there is a restaurant that a guy named Phil was sitting in with his wife, and he had to go to the restroom. So he gets up and he goes to the restroom, and he walks in and he sees this guy named Bob standing in front of the men's urinal there. Bob seems a little bit frustrated and looks at Phil. Phil looks at Bob, and Phil had managed to drop a $5 bill inside this urinal. And he sees that Phil saw him, and so without hesitation, he reaches in his back pocket, whips out a $50 bill, and chucks it inside the urinal. And Phil, he's gone nuts. He goes, "What are you doing, man? That's a $50 bill." And Bob looks back at him and says, "Well, come on, man. You don't think I'm going to reach my hand in there for $5, do you?" So I love that story. It's kind of corny, but it kind of makes a, and that is, move this over here. When the stakes are high, when the objective is high, when you can see the result and the price is high, you're willing to do things that you would not normally do. And in many, many years of teaching referral systems before I even joined LeTip, and then teaching them after I joined LeTip, one of the things that I've learned is there's a huge hesitation for people to ask for referrals. But if you set the goal, if you set the bar high enough, you're willing to do things that you wouldn't normally do. Like some of you are going to invest 5 minutes to an hour of your time right now that you're never going to get back, ever. And you're willing to invest it into this meeting. You this, I'm going to deliver. I'm going to give you step by step every single thing you need to do to end what I'm talking about here today. You're not going to have to reach out to me to get the rest of the story. I absolutely love doing talks like this where there is nothing to sell. I got no hidden agenda here. There's no sell at the end. It's just going to be content. So I get to be free to give it all to you. It's my commitment for you today. My only request from you is that you play full out while you're here. So I would recommend put your phone on silent. Don't get distracted and to talk really fast. And I'm going to give it to you. And a copy of the recording, and I'm going to give you a ton of resources that you're going to be able to take action today and implement the strategy. Let's talk the goal we have for today. And so number one is we're going to talk about 3 ways to literally 10x your referrals, to increase your referrals 10 times or more. I got an email right before this started from my friend Aaron Opfel. He is the digital marketing group, and he says, well, if my math is correct, that's actually 100 times. And I go, yes. And so we're going to talk about 3 ways to do that. The next thing that we're going to talk about is how to double group in the next 90 days. This is a strategy that I've taught to 6 different groups in Northern California. I basically have gone there. They've given me some time, and I've taught this strategy, and they've seen some incredible increase in results as to what I'm going to talk about today. But what I'm more excited about is the strategies I've learned in this COVID environment, this virtual environment, and the ability to your group. And so I'm really excited about that. And then finally, I'm going to talk to you about how to build a massive power base. And I'm going to give it to you step by step. And so in the chat window, if I can accomplish half of this, would it be worth unfocused time of 40 to 45 minutes? Just put yes in the chat window, please. And so there's basically 3 questions that always go through my mind, and probably are going through your mind right now anytime I hear anybody speak. Number 1, who is this dude? In this case, who is John? Number 2 is why should I listen to him? And number 3 is what's in it for me? Now, those are pretty questions, right? And in WIIM, back in the day when I was in the Amway business, a pretty large Amway business, got an opportunity to speak on the same stage that Zig Ziglar spoke when he was alive. And his favorite saying was WIIFM, what's in it for me? You always have to have that in mind when you're talking to an audience. And so the presentation I put together today, you're going to get so many golden nuggets. In fact, I would imagine there are going to be many of you that are going to have a breakthrough in tips and how to generate tips, how to give more tips, because one of the things I learned from Doug Christian and Marie, and the biggest reason I joined LeTip is I know that the more tips you give in LeTip, the more you're going to receive in return. And so I'm excited about that. And so let me see if I can answer these 3 questions real quick, and then we're going to hop into some content. So a little bit about my background to you that haven't heard me speak is I grew up in a very bad home. I mean, this house right here was on 40th Avenue in East 14th in East Oakland, California. Moved there when I was 12 years old, and my family was just all messed up. And at age 17 in April of 97, I decided, I'm moving out. Put a trailer in the back of this house that had no windows and basically was homeless, addicted to drugs, dropped out of high school, just absolutely zero chance of success at all. And thank God on July 21st, 1990, a guy named Gary Ballard, worked for since I was 12, discovered it and gave me an opportunity, paid for the treatment facility that I went to get cleaned up. And I got out 45 days later, and I said, how can I ever repay you? And it's been my life mission ever since, because he said, hey, I want you to keep your nose clean. I want you to become successful. And I want you to go out and a lot of people, which is why I do today. It is literally about how many people can I help do exactly. I came from nothing.
But here we are. If I go to the slide, this was the fourth business that I had built, and while the economy was collapsing, 2009 grew at 3.9%, well over $1 million while the economy was collapsing, and they put me in the center of the Sacramento Business Journal. Now, good for me, great for me, whatever. Here's the point. Went from homeless, zero chance of success. In the military, cleaned up, built. This would have been my fourth business that I built to over $1 million. And it wasn't because I came from a great upbringing. We'll tell you this, it's because I got a mentor early on is how I got there. I took Mo out of the Gary Ballard was my first one. Jay Cucci was my second one. He was my third. Steve Napolitan, Astri, and then now Grant. You get nothing out of my talk today. And there are a ton of talented coaches, consultants, and LeTip. If you're not working with a mentor, I would highly recommend you find one. That has been the most rewarding thing that has happened in my life in every single area of my life, not just business, is being able to find the right mentor to work with and submitting my ego and being accountable. So if you get nothing else out of what I'm going to say today, find somebody that you have respect for and mentor with them. And it will help you play at a higher level. So that's my background. I'm going to share with you exactly what I've done over the years to generate referrals in our case, build power networks, power-based networks. I'm going to share it all with you on a silver platter. Because let me ask you a question. How many of you, and put this in the chat window, how many of you have a referral system in place? Now, I speak to a large audience, about 5 or 6 people raise their hands. I'm going to give it to a different way. How many of you, knowing going into next month, how many referrals you're going to receive, exactly what day they're going to come to you, and who they're coming from? And based off of that definition, how many of you have a referral system in place? And all the hands. Well, the good news is you're going to have some cool, really cool referral systems in place today. And you're going to be able to take this back to your group. Highly recommend you take this back and teach this to your group, teach this to your clients, and just watch your group blow up, watch your clients' groups, your clients' businesses grow up. It's going to be unbelievable. And so let's talk about the 3 ways to 10x your referrals. Number 1 is we're going to talk about the inner game, which has to do with our mindset. Number 2 is we're going to talk about the outer game, which has to do with our skills. And then finally, you can have the best mindset on the planet. You can have the greatest systems in the world. You can literally have all your ducks lined up in a nice 1, 2, 3 order. You can't get yourself action on a regular basis. Maybe you understand none of that matters. And so let's talk about the inner game. And the inner game has to do with our mindset. And one of the mindsets of a champion is that there's always room to grow. Now, how many of you would agree with that statement? If you do, put yes in the chat window. Let me ask you another question, a more personal question. How many of you believe that you have potential inside you to perform at a higher level than the level you have performing at? Put yes in the chat window. I would put a big resounding yes for myself, because we always, and that is the beauty of the network that we have in LeTip, is there's so many relationships that can be developed in so many areas and opportunities for us to grow. And so let me share with you a story about my client, DARPA. She owns a company called Design by Friday. Back in April of 2014, she had been in business for 22 years, well over 3,000 satisfied clients, all of them through organic referral. She came to me and she said, hey, I seem to grow beyond this level of revenue in my business, and I'm frustrated. And I said, well, how do you currently grow? She says, well, send me organic referrals. And I said, okay. So we started working together, and about a week and a half of together, I discovered she had a resistance in her mind to sales. If you resistance to sales goes to, and you're comfortable, yes, in the chat window, because you're not alone. In fact, I would say most people, most small business owners have a resistance to sales. And one of the things I've learned in teaching thousands of people in the art of sales is it's common. Most of us, there's a stigma out there when it relates to sales. But if that's you, if you have a resistance to picking up the phone or closing that deal or making that follow-up call, understand you're not alone. And I understand that. But I'm not going to leave you there. And I didn't leave Deborah there either. And so one of the things I told her is I said, you have a resistance to sales. And she goes, absolutely not. You're crazy. And I'm going, dude, you're using things like, I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to sound salesy. I don't want to do this. And I go, oh my, you're absolutely right. And I go, here's a simple exercise. I'm going to tell you the exercise I gave her. And if this is you, if you're resonating with what I'm talking about, take down this exercise. And if somebody can type this script in the chat window to help everybody out, I'd really appreciate it. But I basically gave her a new definition for sales. And I said, Deborah, here's your new definition for sales. Selling equals service. Sell from honesty, integrity, and compassion. Selling is about leading. Selling is about moving people to action. So basically, I gave her that definition. Selling equals service, sell from honesty, integrity, and compassion. Selling is about leading. Selling is about moving people to action. Here's what I want you to do. And I'm giving you this instruction as well if this is you. I said, I want you to write this down on a 3x5 card. And I want you to write it down on lots of 3x5 cards. And I want you to put it on your bathroom mirror, your refrigerator, your TV, put it in your purse, put it on everywhere you spend time. I want you to put this definition. And every time you walk by it, I want you to pause and I want you to read it out loud or to yourself. And you're probably going to average 10 to 15 times a day. Can you do that? And she said, yeah. And I followed it up with, will you do that? Can I hold you accountable? And she said, yes. And so here's what happened. I'll let her words speak for herself. I only worked with her for 3 months. But because she had that breakthrough, she started looking at herself as, I am a salesperson, but I'm not this car salesperson. She had a very bad definition of a salesperson. She says, she started embracing this about herself. Your audio is really frustrating to listen to. Okay, let's fix the audio here. Let's see if we can fix real quick. So, how about now? Is that better? Can you hear me? Testing.
John, it's worse for me now. You're lower. I haven't had any problem, and it might be their Wi-Fi and their Wi-Fi connection because you sounded fine the whole time for me.
Okay, I'll switch it back to the Yeti mic then.
That is louder.
So, anyways, months, because of this breakthrough, she increased her revenue by 4 times. And I caught up with her a couple of years ago. She had then literally almost 20x'd her business and has got a huge. Now, here's the point. It was that mindset we had to change. When it comes to referrals, when it comes to tips, one of the big intimidating things when people come into a networking group like LeTip is, how do I ask for referrals? How do I give more referrals? What do I do? And there's a big resistance there. And the thing I love about LeTip is it is a great place to practice. Entire support team to help you through this. So if you struggle with sales, if you struggle with mindset around type activities, try this exercise out. Really, Napoleon Hill in his book, Think, Chapter 4 talks about auto-suggestion. And that's what this is you're going to say this thing over and over and over to yourself to give yourself a new definition of sales. And so that's mindset. And once you get your mindset right, now we can add some systems to it. And so let's talk about the outer game. And we're here to talk about referral systems, i.e. LeTip systems. And so the very first thing that I talk about is your base. Everything here has a power base. Back in 2008, when the economy, Lehman Brothers announced in September, hey, we're going out of business. And I lost, I think we were doing a lot of money back then. And I lost about 45% of my business in 45 days, about 45, 60 days. And the mentor I had at the time said, you need to literally stop marketing right now. You need to stop all this stuff that you're doing, and we're going to revert back to Power Base. And that's where we ended up growing 63.9%. So when this thing happened in March, I'm like, I know exactly what to do. And then my mentor, Grant Cardone, at the time was saying the exact same thing. I'm like, okay, this is good because I'm going to do the right thing. And immediately stopped all my marketing, stopped doing all the stuff that because I was competing against COVID. I was competing against all the other. I had to. And so here is the ingredients of a good Power Base. Number one is going to be your family, your friends, and your relatives. Okay, so that's going to be number one. Your family, your friends, and your relatives. List number two is going to be your current clients and your past clients. That's going to be on a whole nother list. Now, don't get too hung up on what to do at this point. I'm going to give you some step-by-step on what you're going to do with these lists here in just a second. Number three is going to be your current prospects and your past prospects. And so what I've done is I've gone back as far as 3 years in my calendar. People that I ran appointments with, people that know, people that told me, take me off your list, never contact me, current clients, past clients, for my family, friends, and relatives. What was funny is Grant gave me an assignment. He's like, hey, just whip out your cell phone and go contacts and just start scrolling through your contacts and a list of all the people that are in your contacts in your cell phone. Last list would be your social media connections. This would be LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever your social platform is. You go through that. And here's what I've done personally, and I've taught my clients to do it as well. Just go to your friends list, connections list, and start scrolling down. And what you're looking for are people that you know. People that if you sent them a direct message, maybe you have their cell number, they know you. They know, like, and trust you. Those are the people we're talking about. And one of the things that you're going to find that's going to be shocking is how many people you actually know. This was a huge surprise for me. I was like, oh man, I didn't realize I knew that many people. And it became very exciting. And so the primary ingredients are these 4 lists. Now, let me give you some step-by-step on how to succeed with this strategy. Number 1 is you're going to make your list. Number 2 is I want you to set a daily goal to add to it. So what I do, I wouldn't take any more than 15 minutes to do this each day. Because if you've ever read the book, The Compound Effect, by Hardy, he talks about little things compound over time, turn into big stuff. And I started getting back to the Power Base back almost 3 months ago now. And I have been blown away. Well over 1,000 people now I've been able to create a Power Base list off of. Now, kind of an advanced idea is look at all the members. If you've been in LeTip for any length of time, look at all those past members that are no longer in your group, all those past attendees that came that didn't join the group. Those are all part of your Power Base. And if you just simply set a daily goal to add to that list, you're going to be amazed at how big your list is going to grow to. Because one of the key foundations of sales is this: operate from a place of abundance, not scarcity. Operating from a place of abundance allows you to take, for me, I'll just speak to me personally, will allow you to take it off of you and put it on the other person, because whether they say yes or no, you've got 25, 30, 100 more people to contact. And setting a goal to add to that list every day is a huge, huge step. Now, make the call. Just make the call. don't think about it. Don't sit back and go, oh my gosh, I got to role play this or whatever. Don't even think about it. So I'm going to stop sharing real quick because I want to give an opportunity here. See here, is there anybody in here? Let me see if I know anybody in here. Okay, because I'm gonna role play this live with anybody that would like to role play this live. I'm gonna role play how to make the call to your family and friends. I'm gonna role play live how to make this call to your past customers and connections. Who would like to role play this with me today? Just raise your hand or put in the chat window, and Janice will mute you. Larry said yes. So let me ask to unmute. There we go. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, Larry, let's just say you and I know, and we're a family, a friend, a colleague, right? And you're on my list, and I'm going to call you. And so, because it's a different script it's a different way of calling your family, friends, or relatives versus clients, past prospects, that sort of thing. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and call you real quick and go ahead and answer the phone.
Okay.
It's ringing.
How you doing there, John?
Hey, Larry, John Pyron, how you doing, bud?
Doing well, doing well. How you doing these days?
Man, you know what? I'm doing really, really good, man. How's the family, man? How's the kids and the wife?
We're all good. Knock on wood. No one's come down with any coronaviruses around so far, even though one of my daughters works in a hospital. You know that.
Yeah.
And we managed to stay clean. We're trying to do everything they tell us to do and stay out of harm's way.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I was going through my phone and scrolling through the people that I had in my contact list, and I saw your name. I'm like, man, I haven't talked to you in like 2 years.
Yeah, why not?
Down and see how you're doing, man. Hey, I've been busy. Been busy, man. So what's new for you these days, man? What have you been up to?
Well, I can't really say I've been doing too many exciting things. I mean, you can't really go anywhere.
Sure.
You can't even go out to eat. So It's basically nose to the grindstone, a little golf. Golf is safe.
Okay.
Golf is safe. They just opened up the tennis courts and the swimming pools around here, so that's safe. So just trying to stay in shape, stay healthy, take a lot of vitamins, work hard, be with the family, be present, and be a good citizen.
That's awesome.
Not get depressed by all the news out there.
Oh, I know. So, well, good deal, man. Hey, when this thing opens up, really love to catch up with you over coffee or beer or wine or whatever. Maybe next week or the week after we can find a time to catch and get the families back together. I think that would be a really good thing.
Yeah, I guess it would have to be a Zoom, but that's fine.
Okay. Hey, I want to send you something. What's your current address now? In this role play, just give me any address, 1, 2, 3, anywhere. I don't really care. So I would get your address. So hey, what's your current address?
26522 La Alameda, Mission Viejo, California.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, I got something I want to send you. It's a little funny card that my wife ran across, and I'm going to pop that in the mail to you tomorrow, man. So, and then I'll give you a call once I realize the air's opened up. We'll get together for coffee.
All right. Be good to see you.
All right, buddy. Have a great one. We'll talk to you later.
Same to you, John. Same to you.
All right. Take care. All right. So let me break this down real quick. On the personal call, I don't really need to get too technical. It's just a personal call, right? I want to catch up with them. I'm going to talk to them just like they're my friend. I want to connect with them. The reason I want the new address, I want to get the updated address, is I'm going to go out and here's what I'm doing. You can do whatever it is you're doing. Those little bitty cards, those little bitty affirmation cards that you can get at like a car wash or whatever. Go and buy a stack of them. And then what I'm doing is I'm literally sitting down and writing a handwritten note. Hey, Larry, it was great catching up with you today. Good to catch up with you and the family. Here's what's going on in our family. Let's get together afterwards. Check this card out I just sent you, and I'm gonna handwrite an envelope, put a stamp on it, and put it in the mail. And then and if you think about it, how many get personalized letters today? None of us. Okay, now this is a personal friend. But now he's going to get a personal letter from me, and I'm going to call him next week and say, hey, man, did you get a letter? And he's going to go, yeah, he did. That was really funny. Yeah, great. Hey, while I got you on the phone, I got my calendar open. Why don't we get together next week or the week after for coffee and set an appointment? Okay. At some point in this dialogue, he's going to ask me what I'm up to. Most likely on that initial call, and that's my opportunity to tell him. So that's how I would make the personal call. You don't need a script, just be yourself. Okay. Go through your cell phone, get that list, and just connect with them. I've gotten so many connections and new referrals just from calling friends. Now, let's do this call as if I'm calling you and you're my client. It's easier to call a client or a prospect. So let me unmute you again real quick. And all of you will be able to go back and listen to the recording of this exact script. Okay. All right, so now you're my client. All right. Or you're a past client. And so I'm going to give you a call. Phone, go ahead and answer.
Hey, how you doing, John?
Hey, Larry, John Pyron, how's it going, bud?
Good, doing well. How about yourself? You staying healthy?
Good. I'm staying healthy, man. Growing.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I was thinking about you, and I just wanted to reach out and see how you're doing. How's business?
Hey, you know what? I'm optimistic about the second half of the year. Let me put it that way. I think things are starting slowly to return to some semblance of normalcy. I don't know if I define it completely normal, but I'm seeing a little pickup, a little buzz in the air, a little, yeah, stuff like that. Just a little more excitement than March, April, May.
That's exciting, man. That's exciting.
Yeah. That's what we're looking for.
Hey, is there anything I can help you out with right now? Any challenges, problems, anything in your business? I have this incredible network called LeTip that I belong to, and I've access to thousands of people across the United States. And you name the problem, business or personal, and chances are I can find somebody that can help you. Is there any
somebody could drop a bag of money at my front door, maybe, you know.
So you want to let me replay back what I think you just said. You want to have somebody help you grow your revenues. Is that
right?
Okay. Yeah. So out of curiosity, if I knew somebody that actually could help you in your specific type of business, would you want to refer them to you?
Yeah, somebody maybe that wants to buy some whole life insurance.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll look in my network that I have and see if I can make referrals for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I ran across this webinar and that I out in my business, and I'm going to send you the link on. I think it added a lot of value to what you're doing.
Sounds good.
Okay. Hey, just out of curiosity, before I go, any family, friends, relatives, clients, past prospects, anybody that can benefit from my services or products right now that you know?
I'm sure they could. I know you're a business doctor, business consultant, and people need that. I mean, maybe people that are wondering about the PPP program or some of these governmental programs, you could probably help them figure out things like forgiveness and what they can use the money, what they can spend the money on, stuff like that. So if I can think of anybody that I bump into that's gotten some of that money, I can send them your way.
Okay. Why don't I do this? I'll make it a lot more easier for you than that. Is I'm going to send over, I have this referral. Okay. And I'll email that to you. And then what I'll do with your permission, I'll hit your LinkedIn profile and see if there's about 10 or so people on there that I think would be maybe a good referral to kind of help jog your memory a little bit.
Yeah, that's always good.
I'll send that over to you today. And would you mind if I follow up with you? Today is Wednesday. How about up with you next Tuesday?
Yeah, it sounds okay.
Okay. Do me a favor and do the same. Take the get LinkedIn and see if there's anybody on there that you would like me to review to. I'll make the commitment to do that.
That's a good idea. Yeah, using LinkedIn as that kind of tool, as that kind of referral generator, I think is a great idea.
Okay, cool. Well, hey, it was great catching up with you, man.
You too. All right, appreciate it.
Talk to you later. All right.
Okay.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right, so two different ways to let me get this again here real quick. Two approaches to these two different lists. And the key is focusing how you can help them. If it's all about you, it's just not going to work. Okay. And so I would look at it and go, okay, how can I help them in their business? If you think about the that we have, I did my monthly visitation with Sergey Magnovsky. He owns a company called PSM Monuments in Sacramento, where he's in our LeTip chapter. And his business lives, 95% of business comes from people dying. And I'm going, okay, how do we refer business to you in LeTip? I mean, we just like go out and find dead people? No. And so one of the things he says, you know what, John, the main reason I joined LeTip is I wanted quality people to refer my friends, relatives, and clients to. And that's why I've been in LeTip over 10 years. He says, I still get referrals from that were in my LeTip group 10 years ago. And when he said that, I'm like, that's the reason I joined LeTip. There's a reason a lot of LeTip is I just wanted a good, solid network of people to refer people to. So when you're making this power-based call, this is why this is such a beautiful strategy during the economy that we're going through, is think about not just your group, but think about LeTip as a whole. And that's probably one of the biggest things we've experienced in LeTip is LeTip Wired is like really good now, right? Like it is a great resource because we're all virtual. We're used to Zoom. We're used to not meeting and when you look at, okay, how can I help my friend, relative, colleague, and I have access to this massive network of people that I can refer people to, I promise you this, go at it like that, it will come back to you. It will definitely come back to you. Last but not least, and most important is you follow up, follow up, follow up. The one thing I've in my own business, been guilty of it, a lot of my clients is we went through about a 10 to 12 year bull market there where I got lazy, me personally. A lot of people I know got lazy. It's like business was just coming to us. And now we are in a contraction and we got to go out and do that. And Mentor Grant said, if you're going to win this economy, if you don't step up your effort by 20, 30, 40%, you're going to have to do 20 to 30, 40% more effort just to make the money you were before. So the question that posed to me and I'm posing to you, we're going to make it through this. The question is who do you want to be on the other side, right? Where do you want your business to be on the other side? And one of the best things that you can do is rebuild all the relationships that you have lost touch with, grow those relationships because you never know who they're going to lead you to. And so one of the ways to really leverage this in LeTip is what I would call a person of influence, which we all of us know as a power partner, right? And so POI, person of influence, means this. Everybody in your current LeTip group or your extended LeTip family has a network that they have influence with, but not everyone is a POI for you. Not everybody in LeTip is a power partner for you. A power POI, if you will, is somebody that has a high percentage of your target market inside their network. And in LeTip, it is very easy to build a power-based network, and I'm going to give you the step-by-step on to do that right now. So 5 steps. Number 1 is we're going to make a top 10 list of potential power partners, POIs, if you will, in our group. Now, if you help with this, here is a huge recommendation. This is a strategy. I literally, as I was prepping for this talk, I'm like, that is a brilliant strategy. That is great. So we all have access to LeTip Wired. I would go out, because you have access to all the chapters, find chapters that are 30 or more people, hop into the chapter, find somebody that's in your category, somebody that has your category in that group. Contact them and say, hey, Mary, this is John. I noticed that you're a business consultant in this group in San Diego. I'm just curious. First of all, do you got a couple of minutes? Because I want to run some. I want to grow our group here, and I think you've got some ideas that I can use, and vice versa. Who are your power partners? What are the categories that are power partners for you in your group? and they're going to tell you. And they may say, okay, well, business insurance guy, contractor, they're going to tell you who their power partners are in their group. And you're going to make a list. Your goal is 10. I want a top 10 list of potential power partners that I can target. And they're either in my group or they're, but if I'm struggling on how to create that, who could be potential power partners, access the LeTip Wired network. Find the groups that are successful. Contact the people that are in your category in those groups and ask them, who are your power partners? And every person I've ever contacted in LeTip, whether they're in my group or other groups, they've always been helpful. They've always they've always returned my call. We have a good quality network of people, and they're willing to help. I know I'm willing to help, and I know everybody on this call is willing to help. So make that call, but come up with a top 10 category list. Then look at your own group and go, okay, maybe I have 2 of those categories in my group. Well, now I know the 8 categories that I need to go out and hunt for. And the easiest way to find those other 8 categories is to go to your existing clients and say, hey, let's just say you're in a group and you don't, by chance, you don't have a business insurance guy, right? So I'd call up my client and go, hey, who do you use for your business insurance? Oh, I use Fred Smith, the founder of FedEx, right? Okay, I use Fred Smith. Would you like Fred? Yeah. Would you refer Fred? Yeah. Would you mind if I contact Fred? Because I'm looking to find a good referral partner for business insurance. And they're going to say yes. And they're going to give you the contact info. That's one strategy. The other strategy is you can reach out to your power base, your family, your friends, your relatives, clients, past clients, prospects, past prospects, and find those other categories that are missing in your group. The other thing that you can do is go to your social networks, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and say, hey, I'm looking for a business insurance guy, whatever the category is. I'm looking for a landscaper. I'm looking for this person. You'll be amazed at how many people give you their favorite person. So our ultimate goal is we want to narrow this list down to 4. And we're going to do this through a process of elimination. And I'm going to tell you why 4 is very important. Very important. Is I'm going to visit each one of their LinkedIn profiles. Now, maybe they don't have LinkedIn. Maybe I'll visit their Facebook. Maybe I'll visit their Twitter. Maybe I'll visit their Instagram. I'm going to visit their social media. I'm going to find out a little bit about them, and then I'm going to meet with them. I'm going to call them. And so let's just say I'm looking to find a housekeeper, because we need a housekeeper in our group. So I go to Facebook, type in housekeeper, or call up friends and relatives. Do you have a housekeeper? And I'm going to get a list of housekeepers. Then I'm going to call them up and go, hey, Mary or Joe, John, you and I don't know each other, but Fred uses you as his housekeeper. He loves you. He speaks extremely highly of you. Hey, we have a group that meets every Thursday at noon for lunch. Right now we're meeting on Zoom, which makes it even easier. And we're looking to add a housekeeper to our group. I've got a list of 8 people here that are housekeepers that I'm calling right now, but we only have 1 slot. And so I just am curious, are you open to having more clients right now? Are you open to growing your business right now? Oh yeah, I am. Great. Would you be available at 11:30 this coming Thursday? On Zoom. We're doing it on Zoom right now. Sure. And I would call all the other housekeepers too and get them there. And then the housekeeper is my potential power partner. So now I've got 4 or 5 people at the meeting competing for that 1 slot. Now, here's why I want to get it to 4. Because I was doing this strategy back in, 2001. Been using the same strategy to build multiple $1 million companies. And the reason 4 is important is because I don't have a lot of time to develop close relationships, but I can meet with 1 POI a week, 1 power partner a week. And when I meet with them, I'm going to visit their LinkedIn. I'm going to meet with them. I'm going to bring a referral form, and we're going to have a conversation. And so prior to going to meet with them, I'm going to visit their LinkedIn. This is one of my power partners, Jim Canaris. He is in LeTip of Midtown. I've been doing this strategy with him since 2007. I made millions of dollars off of the tips, the referrals that we've given back and forth. And both of us joined LeTip about the same time, and we still make a lot of money together. But every third Thursday, third Friday, 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon, Cyber Java Cafe on Madison and 80, you'll find Jim and I. And we get together for about 30 minutes. I visit his LinkedIn prior to him coming to me, and he visits mine. And we get together, and I look up, go to his LinkedIn, I click on his connections. I go to the studio, I type in who I'm looking for, which in my case is president, and up comes this list. And I bring this list with me. And we get together and I say, hey, Jim, how's it going? How was business last month? What were the greatest strategies you used to succeed? What were the goals you achieved? What were the challenges? He does the same for me. And then right before we end our time together, we whip out our list. And I go, who do you know on here? Who do you actually know? And so he showed me, he knew Stephen Harper. He knew Valerie. He knew Henry Chang. He knew Brandon Heights, Paul Zagaris, and Steve Arrakis, who's on LeTip. And he referred all those people to me. And they became clients. And so I know this strategy works. And you have the opportunity as well. I bring a referral form, which has 4 slots on it. I'm going to give you all this, by the way, so you can edit it and make it your own. But we meet every single month. Now, I was doing that prior to LeTip. Now that we're in LeTip and we have Zoom, the best strategy, this is something I've come up with just in this last 6 months that's just unbelievable, is why meet once a week with these people, not take these 4 people and create a mastermind group? Because me and the other 4 people are going after the same client. And we can meet virtually on Zoom right now. And when things open up, we can meet over coffee or beers or whatever. And we can meet once a month, and every single one of us are going to go to each other's LinkedIn profile and bring all this stuff with us with our referral forms. And we're going to have a little tiny little mastermind group. Hey, what worked for you last month? What were the greatest strategies? What were the biggest challenges that you had? You know, how can I help you this next month? Hey, here's my list. Who on here do you know? Here's what I've found with Jim. I've been doing this with him since 2007. On average, I walk away with about 7 to 9 referrals every single month, like clockwork. And they're not bad referrals. They're really good referrals. All I got to do is call them and say, hey, Jim told me to call you, and they always call me back. This guy, Steve Arrakis, who's in LeTip of Midtown, the same group that Jim Canaris is in, that got him as a client through this strategy before I even joined LeTip. This guy was with me for 4 years. He tried to get me in LeTip, but the dude in Carmichael got me in. And so Shriti, I gave him this strategy. He doubled his business. Then he doubled it again. Then he doubled it again. Then he increased it 50% last year. And this is his number 1 strategy, is power networking, power-based POI. And so that's how you would leverage it in your LeTip group and create these true power networks. It's not waiting for a visitation. It's doing it on purpose. And so if you want to get this, I have all your contacts information anyways, but I'm going to put all this in a Dropbox folder. Everything I'm talking about, the referral forms, all the training stuff, everything that I've given away over the years to help you execute on this, just send me your name and email address to that phone number, the 916-741-0596. And I'll make sure and drop you into that Dropbox folder, or just email me. All right, how do you double your group in the next 90 days? Let's talk about this strategy. This is, I am so looking forward to teaching this right now and teaching this to LeTip for the next many, many years. This is a strategy that I've used in other organizations to grow masterminds, and it works beautifully. And I'm excited because it will definitely work in LeTip. And so number 1 is we're going to run a baseline strategy on the group. Well, what is baseline? I learned this in 1992 from Clark Broom. He said, if you do this in your business, you will increase your business every single month, every single year. You'll never have the stock market in your business. And he was right. And so what is baseline? Let's take, let's use tips as a baseline. let's just say you're doing the minimum 4 tips a month. You've been doing that all year long. And so what, 4 times 6, that's 24. Now, I know I dropped out of high school, but I'm pretty sure the math is correct. But let's just say 24 is the number. That would be your baseline. What's also included in that baseline is everything that you did to give those 4 tips. The contacts you made, the appointments that you ran, the clients that you reached out to. It's everything that you did to deliver on the 4 tips. So now that we have your baseline, the strategy is this. We want to continue to do what we've been doing because it's producing a predictable result. And then through either masterminding with a group or power partner network or a mentor that you have, to come up with one thing that you can add to your baseline either next month or next quarter, that if you added it to your baseline would allow you to raise it from 4 tips a month to 5, 6, or 7, okay? Even if you just increase by 1 on average, you'll go from 24 tips given to, 30 tips given, if not more. But come up with one thing that you can add to your baseline over a given period of time. It could be a month, 2 months, whatever. And if you continue to do this every month, every quarter, every year, you'll consistently see an increase. I know, because I do this. You can use this with your family, relationships with your spouse or significant other, your children, health, your fitness, any area of your life that you want to see an improvement in, you can use this strategy. And it works. Now, I will say this. When you add something, there's usually something that you're going to need to subtract. Anytime you add a new idea, a strategy, a new activity, something's going to have to give. So look at the things that you might need to subtract. And so do this with your group. Maybe instead of a speaker one month, you guys as a group carve time out to spend the 10 to 15 minutes just doing a baseline strategy on the group. How many tips did we do last month or last quarter or 6 months or the half part of this year? And then as a collective group, vote on one idea that the whole group can take advantage of or multiple ideas that you can do into the next quarter. Number 2 is everyone needs to run the power-based strategy. Number 3 is everyone runs the POI strategy. Everyone commits in the group, hey, I've got this, let's just say I'm the massage therapist. I'm the massage therapist, right? And I only have the chiropractor. Well, there are 3 other people that would be potential power-based partners that I don't have a group. And so if we all know who those people are, we can help them find that. But everybody agrees to run the power-based strategy. Then what I would do is do a group contest. And I would do it on percentage increase. Like in our group, we have a chiropractor and we have a massage therapist. If we ran a top tipper program, they would win every single month. They would just trade it back and forth, hands down. What I would do is run it as the highest percentage increase of tips given, because maybe you have somebody that's only doing 4. Well, and then now they're doing 8. Well, that's a 100% increase. So we want to reward, come up with a good contest, something that'll motivate everybody. Maybe we give them a gift card to dinner for them and their wife, or maybe we do something really good, but as a result, the tips go up in the group. And then rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat it over and over and over again. Make it fun. People get excited when the group grows. People get excited when we're having a contest, when they see the result happening. This is what happens all the time when I take on a client that has employees. If we run a contest and the whole company gets on board, we always see an increase in productivity and result in that company. So let me wind it down because we're kind of running out of time here. Is again, inner game, outer game. Now let's talk about action. And there's 4 levels of action that people are taking right now in this economy. And there's really only 1 level of action that we should all be taking. Number 1 is you can say, hey, that was a great webinar. I attended it. A lot of great ideas, and do nothing with it. That is 1 level of action. You can retreat. You can say, oh man, not only am I not going to do this stuff, but I'm going to continue to contract and cut my expenses and continue to survive during this time, which is not a good level of action. The most dangerous level of action is taking a normal level of action, what you were doing prior to COVID, what you were doing prior to this lockdown. It's probably the most dangerous level of action you can take right now, because it's going to require a higher degree of action for you to succeed in this economy. Does anyone else have that? So does everybody else have audio? Everybody else can hear me? Looks like it. Okay.
I can hear fine.
Perfect. Okay. The level of action we really want to take right now is a massive level of action. I know what I talked about today is a lot, and you're going to get the recording and everything they have instructed you to do today. I have all recorded on videos that I've used with many clients and taught from the front of the room. You're going to get it. Now, unless you absolutely want to reach out to me, you do not reach out to me to execute on this. I want to give it all to you on a platter so you can have success. But I want you to commit. Take a massive level of action. So before I close, let me kind of make an exercise to see where you're at. You can actually see what level of action you've been taking up to this point. And I call it the what level exercise. And so if I was in the front of the room, I would be saying, hey, good afternoon, because we're afternoon here. And you would say good afternoon to me. And on a scale of 1 to 10, we would call that a 6. And then, I would say good afternoon. You say good afternoon. I go, great, fantastic. Let's play at a higher level now. Let's play at a level 8. And a little bit more energy, a little bit more enthusiasm. And I would say good afternoon louder. And I would say it louder. They always do whenever I do this exercise. Finally, I would say, I'll play at a level 10. Full enthusiasm. I mean, get up, give everybody a high five. And when you have a group of 50, 60 people in a room, this is the best way to end the meeting. And they all, so I say, good afternoon, I yell up to the top of my lungs, and they get up and they high five, and the energy and the level of the room is going great. And then they finally sit down. And then I ask this question. I'm going to ask you this question. And the more honest you are with yourself right now, the better this can help you. First, we played it at 6, and then we played it at 10. First a 6 and then a 10. So here's the question I have for you. Over the last 30 days, over the last 6 months, what level have you been playing at in LeTip? Just go ahead and put the level in, no judgment here. Go ahead and put the level you've been playing at in the chat window, okay? There's in my life, because here, let me ask this question. Some of you are like me, you're playing late. I try to play at a level 8 or higher in business. But let me ask a different question. Over the last 30 days, 90 days, 6 months, what level have you been playing at as you've been showing up in the relationships that are the most important to you? Your spouse or significant other, your children, what level have you been playing at? Boom. Whenever I ask that question, the whole room goes, yeah. What about your finances? What about your health? What about your fitness? What level have you been playing at? See, the key is this. Who decides? Who decides what level you play at? You do. The good news is this. You have the opportunity to take some new action today. And so to play at a higher level, you need to expand your comfort zones. A lot of you have expanded your comfort zones since joining LeTip. You've expanded your comfort zone because you joined. I've watched this happen so many times. A new member comes in, they are scared to death to give a 30-second commercial. Because one of the top reasons we join LeTip is to become a better public speaker. I've seen people just literally shaking, giving their testimonial, their 30-second commercial. And then we've all experienced this 30 days later, 60 days later, they're spitting it, man. They're just like totally comfortable. And it's such a, why? Because they expanded their comfort zone. And everything I talked about today will cause you to expand your comfort zone. You will not be the same, I promise. Okay. Number 2 is decide that you're going to take massive action with accountability. Find an accountability partner in your group. Hire a mentor. Find somebody that can hold you accountable and play at a higher level. Michael Jordan did it. All the famous athletes do it. Okay. You talk to any successful person in LeTip, Doug Christian, those people that play at a higher level, there is somebody in their life that holds them accountable. And so maybe that's your big breakthrough today. And so again, text me your name and email address, this phone number. I promise you, I'll add you to the folder, or just email me or whatever. I'm going to add you to the Dropbox folder. You can download everything. This recording will be up probably next week. Okay. If you want to reach out to me for any reason, go to my website, johnpyron.com. There's a book appointment, and feel free to book a 10, 15-minute call with me. Okay. I've trained 387 coaches in 12 countries. So trust me, I can find somebody that'll resonate with you, but I would encourage you to hit your own chapter first and hit the LeTip network first and interview multiple mentors until you find one that will work for you. So has this been valuable? If so, put yes in the chat window. Has this been valuable for you today? Have you guys gotten a lot out of it? My goal today was to deliver incredible value that you guys can go and take advantage of, okay, and implement in your business. So with that said, I know we're out of time, but I'm going to turn it back over to you, Janice, and we can close this out.
Perfect. Thanks so much, John. I loved your webinar. I think it was informative even for someone like me who's an employee for LeTip. So yeah, I think if we can take a couple minutes, if anyone has time, we'll just give it a few minutes. If you have any questions for John, if you're willing to take some, John, and we'll close it out in a couple minutes. How about we give people about 5, if you don't mind going over.
Actually, time out. Hold on just a second. I apologize, but I actually have another call.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries.
So do me a favor. Email me any questions that you have. Go to my website, book a 10, 15-minute call. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions with you one-on-one. Whatever I can do to help you grow your business. I'm there for you. So with that said, I've got to run, but I'll leave you guys to chat amongst yourselves. Thank you.
Thanks, John. All right, everyone, that will conclude our webinar. I will go ahead and put John's email in the chat, and this recording of this webinar will be up, I believe, I'm going to try to get it up by Friday. So it'll be on letip.com/webinars. Like John said, if you want to chat amongst yourselves, that'd be great if you want to. If not, we'll close this out in a couple minutes. And let me just take a second to put that info in the chat.
J. Pyron at John Pyron.